So I'm Sarah Ross. I'm the program director for Compeer. We are a super small nonprofit. We've been around for about 20 years. I work part-time as the program director, and I'm the only paid staff. So as Jack said, our primary focus is creating one-on-one friendship matches. So I'm going to just go through this presentation because it's going to talk a little bit more about Compeer and stuff. But before I do that, I wanted us to kind of mix up and get to know each other a little bit. Myself, I moved to this area about 7 years ago when my spouse got a job at the Unitarian Universalist Society. And I moved from Ann Arbor, Michigan, another great college town. Right, well, that's right. I have a very varied work background. I graduated from college with an undergraduate degree in computer science, but I never worked in the field. I've been interested in the arts. Did painting for a while. I was a journalist for a while at a small weekly newspaper. And then in Ann Arbor, I was interested in exploring getting a MSW, a Master's of Social Work. And on my way there, I thought I'm gonna get an associate's first and find out if it really is a good match for me. And so in Ann Arbor, I got an associate's in social work from the community college there, Washtenaw Community College. And I worked as an intern and then was hired to work for a supportive housing agency. And supportive housing is like, it's a housing first model, so you don't have to be clean or sober or meet any other requirements. You deserve to be housed, whatever is going on in your life. And then the supportive part is that the staff are there, if you need it, to help you with accessing resources in the community, help pay your heat, go to the food bank, help get you to doctor's appointments, whatever's going on that can help you be more successful in staying housed. And so I did that for a while. And then I also worked for a prisoner reentry program, doing kind of administrative support, but I also did a little programming for them. And that's as far as I went in my education. I enjoyed the work I was doing at that level, and I didn't end up getting the MSW because I was able to find things I enjoyed and be engaged with in that field and working with people in supporting them.
You really work on the job having learned.
Yeah, you do. Anyway. Yeah, you do really learn on the job. That's right. That's just a credential to open doors for you. So yeah, so that's me. They did, yeah. And then I first got connected with Compeer about 3 or 4 years ago when I volunteered to be matched with a friend. And that was at the beginning of COVID. So it took me like a year to get matched because COVID really slowed things down. People were less comfortable meeting in person, which is really the gold standard for Compeer connections. But I was matched about 2.5 years ago, and so I'm still matched with my friend. And then about a year and a half ago, I saw the program director position was open, and they were hiring for it. And so I was very interested in learning more about it and seeing if it would be something that I would enjoy doing. And so they hired me, and I'm really enjoying it. It's a great program, and I'm learning a lot about the program and hoping to work. We have a very active advisory board that supports the program, and we're working together to grow the program. I think things really slowed down during COVID, and we're just really starting to come out, and things are really starting to take off. So I'm excited about that. Okay, thanks everybody. I'll have you kind of just come back to the big group. Thank your partner for listening and sharing. And I'm going to ask, once we get back in a big group, I'm going to ask just one more question. And everybody gets to choose to participate and answer as they feel comfortable. And I'm kind of following Jack's example at the beginning when Jack introduced me. And the question here is, if you're comfortable, raise your hand if you have lived experience with mental illness. Now, this could mean yourself personally. It could mean someone you're close to, a friend or a family, or somebody you know in the community, maybe through work. And again, please participate if you feel comfortable. All right. Thanks for doing that. I think it helps us see that, mental illness is something that touches many, many of us in the community, and it's an experience that we can learn and share with each other about, to learn more about how to support people and how to support ourselves. So our mission is to reduce loneliness and isolation that can accompany a mental illness diagnosis in adults. And we do that by supporting one-on-one friendships. And so we get volunteers and we match them with someone who's been referred to the program, and we support you in getting to know each other and having a friendship. Compeer was started back in the early 70s in Rochester, New York, by a very dynamic woman who had an experience of being hospitalized, and for a long period of time she was in a severe car accident. And while she was in the hospital, she had lots of visitors because she had a strong social circle, but she observed that there were many patients around her that did not have visitors, and she could see the impact that had on people. She could see that patients with visitors were more engaged, the staff were more engaged with them, and it had a huge impact on their recovery. And that is what got her started on understanding the importance of social connection to wellness. So it started out as a matching for people who were hospitalized, but the focus shifted and changed as she learned more about her community, and it became Compeer, matching people with folks that are isolated because of a mental illness diagnosis. There's now over 4,000 volunteers internationally. We started this local affiliate chapter here in Iowa City in 2000. We're the only chapter in the state of Iowa, and we serve Johnson County. And there are affiliate chapters mostly in the US, but there are a few overseas. And so we started, well, there's that, okay. So how the Compeer model works is the participant is referred through a mental health professional. So the person with the mental illness is at a place in their recovery where they're living well, they've got the support they need to be stable, and they would like some more social engagement. And so then they get a referral, probably have a conversation with their therapist and say, hey, I kind of want to try this or check this out. And then there's me, the Compeer staff. I'm there to support the participant and the volunteer. And then there's the volunteers who we get from the community and match with participants. And so the therapist is definitely available. They're always available to the participant because we ask that they're seeing a therapist at least once a month. So they've got support for their mental health. And so your role as a volunteer is really to be a friend. It's not to be another person helping them with their mental health, other than by having social contact, that improves, we all know that improves our well-being. So Compeer is recognized as a best practice. So this woman who started Compeer many, many years ago realized that she would need to have research that supported the effectiveness of the program in order to get funding to grow the program. So right away, she reached out to some colleges and universities in the Rochester area and got students and psych departments involved in doing surveys and getting responses. And so from the very beginning of Compeer, they survey all the participants and volunteers every year and ask very specific questions about how it impacts your wellness and your quality of life. So there is lots of research that shows that having a friend in this supported friendship really can improve someone's quality of life. And it's recognized as a best practice model. So it's a very simple model. We find people and we match them, and then they develop a friendship. It's very simple, very low cost, and very effective. This is the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, is a federal agency, and we're an evidence-based practice because of all that research that's been done showing how effective it is. Social connection is a basic human right. It's a basic human need. And we all know that social support is a big part of all of our well-being. So those are the things Compeer is grounded in. Compeer also challenges stereotypes and stigma that can be associated with mental illness by offering educational opportunities to the community. So last year we helped to bring a mental health first aid training that was free to anybody who wanted to participate. It was open to all community members. We're going to try to do that again this year. If you're interested in attending something like that, let me know. Our Compeer matches, our friend volunteer matches, demonstrate that with support and treatment, people can and do recover from mental illness. That often is a myth or a stereotype that once you have a diagnosis, you just always, you're not going to change. And we all know from our own lived experience how much we change during our lifetime. So that is true for everybody. And through getting to know their match friends, Compeer volunteers learn firsthand about some of the stereotypes and misconceptions that we've learned through our culture and our society about mental illness. And then they can also speak out when they hear that happening, hear a misconception, they can speak up and counter that with their own experience. So for participants, I spoke about this a little bit. We ask that a participant be referred by a mental health professional, that they're seeing a therapist at least once a month, and that they feel like they're ready to take on some of the challenges that come with developing a new friendship. Now, sometimes I'll get a referral directly from a therapist, or I'll get a call from somebody who's like, hey, I heard about your program and I'd like to be matched with someone. And so then I'll talk with them about, well, I'll need you to get, you need to be in therapy at least once a month. Some people, that's not going to work for them, so we can't work with them, I'm sorry to say. Other folks are like, oh yeah, I see a therapist, and so then I just support them and walk them through the process of getting that referral form to their therapist and getting the therapist to submit it. And then our volunteers, we're looking for adults. We have a volunteer application, we do a background check, and we also call references. And then we interview everybody. We actually interview our participants as well. And then the ask for the volunteers is to spend 4 hours a month, typically 1 hour a week, with your Compeer friend. And we ask for a 12-month commitment if that's something that can work for you. So you have an idea of what that means. One of the nice things about a Compeer volunteer commitment is it's super flexible. So it, unlike say like the food bank, where you got to show up every Tuesday from 9 to 11 or whatever your shift is that you said you're going to come and help. Once you're matched with your Compeer friend, you just ring each other up and you're like, well, what do you want to do this week? Do you want to? I could do coffee Wednesday morning, or I'd like to go for a walk Thursday afternoon, and you kind of make a time and an activity that you would both enjoy and that could work for both of you. So there's a lot of flexibility. So if other ways to support Compeer as a program, we're always looking for volunteers. If that's not you, maybe a friend has popped into your mind, oh man, they would make a great Compeer friend. Let them know about the program. People can just call and talk to me about it. We also have these volunteer info sessions, and there's some little slips on the table there. A volunteer info session is a no obligation opportunity to just learn more about Compeer, ask questions, so you can continue to consider and make an informed choice if it's something you want to think about volunteering for. And so these happen twice a month. So check that out if you want that, or give that to a friend. We're also recruiting for our board. We have a very active advisory board that supports the program. They help put on like our annual fundraiser that's coming up here at St. Andrews. They help me with figuring out, good strategies for doing volunteer recruitment and strategies for growing the program. So that is another way to participate. And we're looking for some specific skill sets. So if you want to know more about that, just chat me up afterwards. And then, funding and publicity. So you can always make a donation to us, and follow us on Facebook as well, and come to our, we're doing the fundraiser, which I'm sure you guys know about. There's flyers over there. It's coming up on Saturday, February 17th. And it's going to be a concert and a dessert reception here at St. Andrews. And there's 4 or 5. Thank you. It's our Sound of Friendship concert. It's our annual fundraiser. And it features 5 local performers. It's really a nice evening of music, a variety of music, and a chance to relax, benefit a good program, and enjoy some delicious desserts. So think about coming to that. Yeah, it's going to be here up in the sanctuary. Yeah. So there's that. I think that's it. Do people have any questions about this aspect of our presentation? Because we do also have a speakers panel. Yeah.
What does the training involve?
The volunteer training? Yeah, we go through some basic expectations, some like cardinal rules, don't ever do this. Some coaching and basic expectations around building relationship, being patient to allow a relationship to grow. And then we talk about boundaries. So it's nothing super intense. We don't, you don't learn about your friend's mental illness diagnosis from me. That's something just like in any other relationship. You learn about that from your friend as they feel comfortable, if they want, when they want to talk about that or share about that, just like that would be true in any other connection or friendship you would have.